What if the greatest strength was not the power to conquer, but the power to remain righteous when life takes everything from you? What if the most beloved king in Indian mythology became great not because the world was fair to him, but because he stayed true even when it was not? And what if the story of Rama is not only the story of a prince who defeated Ravana, but the story of a heart that chose duty over comfort, honor over desire, and dharma over despair? This is the story of Rama, the prince of Ayodhya, the seventh avatar of Vishnu, the central figure of the Ramayana, and one of the clearest images in Indian mythology of what it means to live with righteousness when the world breaks around you. Among the avatars of Vishnu, Rama feels different. He is not wild like Narasimha. He is not mysterious like Krishna. He is not terrifying like Parashurama. Rama is measured, steady, disciplined. He does not first teach the world through shock. He teaches through conduct, through restraint, through the painful dignity of doing what is right, even when the cost is personal. And maybe that is why Rama still speaks so deeply to people across generations. Because many of us are not destroyed only by evil. We are also tested by unfairness, by disappointment, by betrayal, by promises broken through no fault of our own. And the real question of those seasons is not simply, how do I survive? It becomes, who will I become while I suffer? That is where Rama's story begins. Not with war, but with loss. Rama is the prince of Ayodhya and heir to the throne, but through palace intrigue, he is deprived of the kingdom and sent into exile for 14 years. He accepts that exile and goes into the forest with his wife Sita and his half-brother Lakshmana. That turn is one of the defining movements of the Ramayana. Think about the emotional weight of that moment. He was ready for coronation, ready for the life he had been raised to live, ready to step into power, responsibility, and kingship. And then, suddenly, it is all taken away. Not because he failed, not because he sinned, not because he was unworthy, but because life, like it so often does, turned without warning. And Rama does something that still feels almost impossible. He accepts, not because the injustice is small, but because his commitment to dharma is greater than his attachment to comfort. That is what makes Rama extraordinary. He does not become noble after life rewards him. He reveals nobility when life strips reward away. That alone is enough to make his story timeless. Because there are moments in every life when you do not get what you deserved. When the door closes. When the future you expected disappears. When someone else's choices force suffering into your path. And in those moments, Rama stands before the human heart like a question. Will you become bitter? Or will you remain aligned with what is right? Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana go into exile together, and the forest becomes more than a place. It becomes a test of loyalty, a test of love, a test of identity once status has been removed. In the forest, the story darkens. Ravana, the 10-headed king of Lanka, abducts Sita after a deception involving a golden deer that draws Rama and Lakshmana away. Sita refuses Ravana's advances, and Rama and Lakshmana begin the long quest to rescue her. And this is where the story stops being only about exile. Now it becomes about devotion, because the loss of the kingdom wounded Rama, but the loss of Sita cut deeper, not only because she is his wife, but because she is the living heart of what he loves. And suddenly the forest is no longer just the place of endurance. It becomes the place of longing, of grief, of the terrible ache of searching for what has been torn away. That is why Rama's story still feels alive, because most people know this pain. The pain of not only losing a position, but losing a person. The pain of calling into silence. The pain of searching. The pain of not knowing where the one you love has been taken. And yet even here, Rama is not made small by sorrow. He is made deeper by it. During the search for Sita, Rama meets allies who become essential to the journey, especially Hanuman and Sugriva. Hanuman finds Sita in Lanka, gives her Rama's signet ring as proof he has come from Rama, and returns with the news that she lives. In many versions, a bridge is then built to Lanka, leading to the great war against Ravana. That part matters more than people realize, because Rama is often remembered as the ideal king, the righteous hero, the disciplined avatar, but he is also the one who cannot finish his journey alone. And that is beautiful, because righteousness does not mean isolation. Even the noblest heart still needs friendship, still needs help, still needs loyalty. still needs the courage to trust others when the path ahead is too great for one person. Hanuman's devotion, Lakshmana's faithfulness, Sita's strength, the alliance with Sugriva, all of this reveals a truth hidden inside the epic. Dharma is not lived alone. It is carried in relationship. If this story is already touching something in you, pause here and leave a comment. What part of Rama's journey speaks to you most? Exile, devotion, patience, or the fight to bring light back into your life? Then comes the battle everyone remembers. The war in Lanka, the confrontation with Ravana, the clash between righteousness and arrogance, devotion and possession, order and destructive power. Rama ultimately defeats Ravana and rescues Sita. Many versions of the Ramayana then move toward the return to Ayodhya after the 14-year exile and the beginning of Rama's reign, often idealized as Ram Rajya. But the deepest meaning of Rama's story is not only that he wins, it is how he carries himself before victory arrives. Rama is not simply the hero of the ending. He is the hero of the process, of the years in the forest, of the silent endurance, of the discipline that continues before the miracle. And maybe that is why he remains such a profound figure. Because many people do not need a God who only appears in triumph. They need a God who knows what exile feels like, who knows what it means to lose home, to lose certainty, to lose what you love, to walk through injustice without letting injustice define your soul. That is Rama. In Hindu tradition, Rama is widely regarded as the epitome of moral righteousness and proper kingship. Earlier layers of the tradition may present him more humanly, while later devotion fully emphasizes his divinity, but throughout the tradition he remains a model of virtue and royal conduct. And that is the twist hidden inside his greatness. Rama does not feel great because he is beyond pain. He feels great because he stays aligned within pain. He does not stop being righteous when life becomes hard. He becomes righteousness inside hardship. That is far more powerful than simple victory. So what do we learn from Rama? We learn that dharma is not convenience. We learn that real strength is disciplined. We learn that exile can become a place of transformation, not only punishment. We learn that love is not passive, it searches, suffers, fights, and remains faithful. We learn that power is most beautiful when it is guided by virtue. And maybe most of all, we learn this: a noble heart is not measured by how brightly it shines when honored. It is measured by how faithfully it walks when everything has been taken away. So if your life feels unfair right now, remember Rama. Remember the prince who lost the throne. Remember the husband who crossed worlds for love. Remember the exile who became a king not because life was easy, but because he remained true. If this story touched your heart, leave a comment and tell me which part stayed with you most. And if there is a god, goddess, or avatar you want me to make the next video about, comment the name below. Because sometimes the highest form of power is not conquest. Sometimes it is character.